Hey everybody, and welcome to Rise of Industry 2. This is another incredibly interesting factory city builder that I've had my eye on for a while. I played Rise of Industry 1. It's been years since I played it though, so this is going to be a new experience for me. But I'm excited to see what it's all about. If you were new here, make sure to subscribe, turn on notifications, do all the sort of good stuff. I'm very excited again to try this one out. And when you're seeing this, we are live right now for Summer Game Fest. You were seeing this right as the stream is live, so go to the YouTube channel and go check it out. I'm very happy to be doing Summer Game Fest officially with some official co-streams planned. So yeah, where to get started, let's get into some Rise of Industry 2 and play the tutorial for this first episode. Initiating Spoolsville. I do have an upload going in the background, so it is going to take a minute to load, you think? But yeah, we'll see.
The last thing we need is somebody looking too closely at this thing. All right, I'll see you around. Hi, I'm Frank Wilson, and I want to turn you into a captain of industry.
Well,
if you're hungry
I've been
and
playing
you're willing to
captain of
learn,
industry.
I can teach you how to build a bulletproof investment portfolio, taking in everything from agriculture to aviation. But before I bestow my wealth of industrial experience upon you, I got to be sure that you can handle yourself. So, welcome to Spoolsville. It's a little backwater burg where you can come to grips with the basics of business without causing too much damage to your reputation or mine. So here's your assignment. I want to see if you can figure out how to build the facilities to create VHS tapes, nothing too taxing. Once you've figured out the lay of the land, so to speak, we can take off the training wheels and start making some real money. You ready? Good. Then I'll see you on the other side.
Hello and welcome. It's me, Frankie. The board is very much into my business philosophy as outlined in my Frankie Says Business tape, so they've hired me to help you get started here at Initial Logistics Incorporated. So welcome to the company. Hope you're taking notes, but don't worry if you're not. Like my informational tapes, you can always come back and visit any part that you missed. There's going to be a whole new series of Frankie Says Business info tape. It's going to be huge. Only one problem. We need tons of cassette tapes to get them out to my adoring public. That's where you can help. To get to our goal of making cassettes, we've got to get plastic production running in this region. So I'm going walking through the process of going from drilling oil to making plastic to manufacturing cassette tapes. Ready to go? First, we need to acquire raw materials for plastic. We could buy those materials from someone else, but lucky for us, there's an ample crude oil deposit on this very island. It will be cheaper and more profitable if we extract it ourselves, right? For some orientation, here's our regional headquarters complex. It contains a number of buildings, including a contract delivery spot, which we will be learning about later. If you do well, you can take my corner office once my contract is up. Let's get a bird's eye view. Move the camera by clicking and dragging with your left mouse button. The WASD keys on your keyboard work as well. Take it for a spin. Want to get closer to the action? Turn the mouse wheel, use the W or the Z and X keys. Need to change the perspective? Press down the middle mouse button to rotate the camera. Q and E work as well. Try it out, it's fun. Great, and by the way, the right mouse button is used to cancel actions and close dialogues. I will remind you about it later once an opportunity arises to use it. Now let's get to it. Also notice the nearby city of Spoolsville. Right now it's a sleepy little town, but it will grow along with us. It will provide us with our most important asset, human capital. To begin, we must build a proper facility to extract oil from this deposit. For your convenience, I have enabled the deposit overlay in the overlays bar on the top right of your screen, right there, which shows natural resources in the ground. If you want to do this yourself, it's in the top right row of buttons. We can see overlays right here. Let's actually go ahead and do that again. For oil extraction, we'll need a hydrocarbon extraction complex. By the way, a complex is a connected collection of buildings in a specific industry. You must build a hydrocarbon extraction complex to extract crude oil, for example. Later, we will be building a media production complex to make those cassettes I was talking about. To build a new complex, enter the build menu on the bottom left corner of your screen. Click plus start a new complex. We have the indicated area here. We're going to want to place that down. We want this building placed. How do we rotate? Is R and F. That's how we do it. Alright, so you will only be able to place complex building within that area of influence. So let's make sure the area we selected includes the crude oil deposit we'd found earlier. Use R and F keys to rotate the building before you place it. For workers to arrive at your new complex, your central office must be connected to the local city via highway. This is also something you can build directly in the build menu found under the storage and transport section. Lucky for us, this region already has some convenient highways we can use without too much trouble. You also notice that your HQ complex is also connected to the main highway network. This connectivity is critical for our operations. We need to connect the hydrocarbon extraction complex to the highway. We're connected. Build highway in the specified location in order to connect them. We've done that. We are connected. Bada bing, bada boom. Until now, the game has been paused. But in order for your building construction to proceed, we need to let some time pass. To change the speed of the game, press the button in the top left near today's date. Or press 1, 2, or 3 on your keyboard to change speed. You can also press spacebar to pause. I'm watching this go, but I think we're going to turn it up a little bit. Here we go. So we've completed that. We can move on. Now that our central office is done, we can work on the buildings that will actually extract, store, and transport the crude oil that we want. Complexes are composed of specialized buildings that share access to storage, utilities, and transportation bays. In this hydrocarbon extraction complex, build an oil well to extract the crude oil we need. To edit your complex, re-enter the build menu. We want an oil well. You will find the oil well with complex facilities in the build menu. Use R and F to rotate, so we need to rotate it that way. In order for our complex's buildings to operate, they must be connected to the central office by access roads. We cannot exactly expect our workers to trudge through fields or forests to get our jobs done, can we? Let's build that access road connection now. Like so. Highways connect complexes to each other and the rest of the world. Access roads connect buildings within a complex to each other and must be hooked up to the complex's central office for buildings to function. Our hydrocarbon extraction complex can't work without access to electricity, so next we'll need to build a power line connector to supply the power we need. Alternate utility connector buildings can be found via the distribution section of the build menu. Need a power line connector. Build a power line connector in the specified location. There it is. Okay. Now that the connector is placed, we need to attach it to the rest of our complex by access road. Otherwise, none of our workers will be able to get to it in order for it to start running. Okay, I think we're connected. Finally, let's attach that connector to the local electricity network. Look at your headquarters complex to see how this is set up and connected with power line. Do the same in your new complex from the distribution section of the build menu. Build power lines in the specified locations. There we go. So that we can connect to the power network. We are done with that. We'll also need access to water, so you'll need a water pipe connector connected with water pipes as well. So we need to do all of this in one fell swoop. So now we need roads. Need regular access roads. And we need water pipes. Everything's connected, we can move on. With utilities taken care of, oil well can finally start drilling. Only one problem, where to put that oil? We can't exactly leave it lying around. If you want to use it or move it, we're also going to need to build a storage tank to safely put away all that valuable crude oil. Tanks are in the storage and transport section of the build menu. That looks good, but now that I think of it, all this space near the road is going to be prime real estate once we start shipping things out. So maybe we should put the storage elsewhere. Luckily, since the building is still under construction, we can demolish it. So now we want to move it right there. Like so. Okay. We'll eventually need to get crude oil out of this complex if we were to work with it, so we'll have to build a tanker loading facility. We'll put right here. We want to build roads to it right here. And we'll want to build access roads to it right here. Like so. Let's wait for everything in the hydrocarbon extraction complex to finish building before we continue. You can right click or hit escape to exit construction mode if you'd like to look around at other things while you're waiting. Everything is done. Now we're good to go. If you click on the oil well, you can see that it is producing crude oil daily. By clicking on the storage tanks, you can also see that the crude oil is being stored away. Ready to use or sell. Understood. Alright, we're on to topic number 3, making good time. I bet you're already ready to go on plastic, aren't you? Well, not so fast. Now that we're paying folks to work our hydrocarbon electric extraction complex, we're practically bleeding money. Or if only there was something lying around that we could sell. Hint, hint. Of course, all that crude oil will do nicely before we start turning any of it into plastic. You can get a jump start on profit by selling the crude oil. The main way we buy and sell things in the game is via contracts. These are long-term agreements with other companies to regularly sell or buy materials. Let's get started on trying to start a contract to sell crude oil. To start, let's inspect the contracts UI by clicking the contracts highlighted in the bottom left row of buttons. We need to grow the business in new directions. Let's have Theodore Jones go visit some of our business partners and see if we can negotiate a new contract. So we're going to sell crude oil. 30 barrels every 7 days. Signed contract. You've sent your representative to meet with Warren Mason, the CEO of Southwestern Chem, to discuss your offer. You can expect to hear back tomorrow on August 1st, 1980. We're going to hear at some point today about our contract. Now, your VP of Sales is off negotiating. This will take about a day. When negotiations are complete, you'll receive a notification in your notification bar. Perfect timing. Near the clock on the top left, inviting you to look over it one last time and accept the final terms. We have evaluated your proposal for crude oil and are able to offer the following terms. Please let us know if you find them acceptable. We'd love to do business with you. So they said 30 barrels every 7 days. They are in agreement with that. Revenue $1,207 per delivery. Base value $10.50 plus 15% due to prior relationships. Excellent, we've got a deal. You only pick up crude oil at the contract delivery depot at our headquarters, and all of our crude is currently marooned at our hydrocarbon extraction complex. We need to get all that crude oil over to your headquarters before the first contract pickup date arrives. One of the ways we can do that is via deliveries. Deliveries will move a resource from one complex to another as long as there are appropriate loading facilities at both locations. We built a tanker loading facility in our hydrocarbon complex earlier to provide this exact service. With all our loading set up, you can set a crude oil delivery schedule. From Deliveries Manager. Let's go ahead and do that. Add delivery. Crude oil. So the origin is going to be over here. The destination is going to be over here. We want to deliver 5 per day. Incredible. With oil flowing into our headquarters and our contract set, all we have to do is wait for the money to start rolling in. You check contract events on the calendar below with the date and speed. We're going to get about $1,200. So now we're selling crude oil, but your goal is still to make cassette tapes, so we better get started making plastic. Plastic production is a little more complicated than oil extraction, so we should make sure we've got a new plan in place before we start breaking ground on a new complex. It's a really handy tool for all that, actually. It's called the production manual, accessible in the top right corner of your HUD. Here you can view every resource, technology, building, and complex available to you. I think you'll find it to be a great tool for planning production. How about a tour? At the top, there are 4 tabs: technologies, resources, buildings, and complexes. On the left, you'll see all the options for your current tab. Now, don't get nervous, it's a lot of stuff, but I know you can handle it. Here's all the basic information on what is currently selected to the left. In the details section, you'll see a couple of extra data points as well as lists of related buildings, resources, technologies, and complexes. And for lots of good info over here. Resources where they're made, found, or extracted. For buildings, inputs and outputs. For complexes, buildings that can be constructed within. And for technologies, items that are enabled when researched. Make sure that you're back on the resource pages for crude oil. We want to make plastic. Plastic is made in a few ways, but there's only one of these that we care about right now, and that's the fractionation tower. Looks like we'll have to start by placing a plastic production complex. But we don't have the necessary technology to build one of those yet. Let's navigate to that page now. Once you're on your own, you'll be doing your own R&D, but I'll arrange for your technology while you're working here in Spoolsville. This page is for plastic fractionation crude oil. As you can see, I've just unlocked it for you. All right, so let's close the production manual. And let's get started. We're producing 15 crude oil buckets per day. Let's go ahead and build a couple more oil wells. Need to get to the access road, so let's go ahead and turn this way. Okay. We got another oil well going here. We're going to get another oil well going here. And we'll place the access road exactly like we did before. Ta-da! We should be able to get to 15 with that. I know we can get to 15 with it. This went up to 10. I gotta wait on this cycle. Now, if you open the build menu as before, you notice that in addition to this, there's a plastic production complex available for our next step. Where do you want this, sir? Right here, okay? All right. We've got that. We got to do all of that. All right. Go to industrial storage warehouse. We don't have help on this one, so this is all us. We're gonna put it with an access road, so we're gonna go and put it toward the back here. There we go. So industrial storage warehouse is built, or is being built. Got to build some storage tanks. We'll build along this access road. We're going to build 2. Build a tanker loading facility. We're actually going to cancel this one. Well, section needs to be networked to the highway. We could do that with this, right? Yeah. Good. All right, build a power line connector. Toward the back. Where is our power? Where is a power line? Hold on. Where is a power line? It's way back here. Okay. I don't see anything else. So I guess we gotta go this way. Okay. Alright, so we need to build a water pipe connector. Put it right next door. Where are the water pipes? Now these are underground, so we don't have to worry as much about that. But you do need to connect them though. That's connected up. Need to get our access roads built. Which we're kind of screwed because of the way I placed that. Oh no. Oh no. We need to actually... Can I move this? Access road. That's connected. We're gonna go ahead and do the... We're gonna do this access road into that access road. Like that. Alright. Now we can figure out the tanker loading facility. In which case, now we got to figure out the road to the tanker loading facility. How does this work? Can I do this? Is that connected correctly? Looks like it might be. Okay. All right, we need to build a plastic fractionation tower. Got a crude oil delivery from the hydrocarbon complex to the plastic production complex. Crude oil. Confirm. Origin. Hydrocarbon. Destination. Plastic. We will deliver 5 barrels per day. Now we're going to produce 4 drums of plastic per day. That's our goal. Once this is done, I'm going to wrap up today's episode of Rise of Industry. There we go. Look at you, you're practically a mogul on your own. Now that we have plastic, we're in touching distance from all our cassette tapes' dreams. Alright, we're going to go and wrap up. I know I can't say, but we've kind of gotten the gist of it. We're going to get into the actual game next time, so if you enjoyed, make sure to drop a like on the video, subscribe, turn notification, and I'll see you next time for more Rise of Industry 2. Thanks for watching.